So we'll quickly go over a round of introduction. We'll introduce you to our Tableau user group community leaders. And we also have a few guest speakers today. So they will introduce themselves. And then our guest speakers would be covering two very interesting topics around embedded analytics using Tableau. So we have two use cases. One is embedded analytics with Tableau and Salesforce. And then the second one is using embedded analytics in Tableau for doing dashboard comparisons. So two really interesting topics coming up, and then they will be spending some time giving us a walkthrough of what they have built. Then we'll have some more fun. We have a Kahoot quiz coming up for all of us. And then towards the end, we'll wrap it up by walking you through some of the key features that Tableau has added on their latest version of Tableau, which is 2022.1. Okay, so with that, let me go through who are part of this Tableau user group leadership team. So I'm Monish Swaroop. I'm part of Slalom Consulting Company. I have been with Slalom for almost 11 years. I'm a delivery director from our data and analytics practice, and I lead the data visualization practice in Slalom. Kathy?
I am Kathy. I'm senior consultant working under Manish at West Chichester County Slalom office. And I'm mainly focused on data visualization and data science build.
Monisha?
Hi, everyone. My name is Monisha, and I'm also a part of Slalom team, and I work under Kathy and Monish. I joined Slalom in September 2021, and I've done several projects which are in relation to data analytics, such as Alteryx, where I've used Tableau as well. And now I'll be using Power BI also. Thank you.
Adam?
Hello, Adam Ware, independent consultant and trainer on Tableau. Been using Tableau for 10 years, certified professional, and I've also taught as an adjunct for NYU and UConn.
Maria?
Hi, I'm Maria Wofford. I also work for Slalom. I am part of the West Coast team. I've been using Tableau for over 10 years. Pretty much my background is business intelligence and data and analytics, data science.
Awesome. Thank you all. So we have three guest speakers today. We'll start with June.
Yeah, my name is June Villagonzalo. I'm a senior consultant in our Slalom office in Dallas. I've been with Slalom for more than 8 years now, but I'm mainly focused on Tableau, Tableau development, Tableau server integration, consolidation, and migration to cloud. I've also done Alteryx and Alteryx server. So I'm in the data and analytics team in Slalom.
Thank you. David? David J.
Hi, David Justiniano. I'm a senior delivery principal in Slalom in our New York offices. I've been at Slalom for 6 years. I've been using Tableau for 10 years, and I focus on helping organizations measure their environmental and social impact.
Thanks, David. David R.
Yep, hello, I'm David Rameau. I've been Slalom for about 3 years now. I'm a consultant in the software engineering practice and formerly was in DNA. And so, yeah, I do a little bit of both now.
Thank you, David. All right. So with that, I think we can go to the next topic here, which is around embedded analytics using Tableau within Salesforce. So June, do you want to share your screen?
Yes. You see my screen?
Yep, I can see it.
Okay. So what I have for you today is I'm gonna share to you what I did with my current client. We embed Tableau dashboard in their Salesforce environment, particularly the Experience Cloud. And there are a few things that I'd like to cover here before we start embedding dashboards in Salesforce. First is we enable the single sign-on, and both in Tableau and Salesforce. And we also use the Salesforce as the identity provider. And second is there's this option, this is optional, but you can also federate your Salesforce so that external users can log into Salesforce externally and internal users can log into Salesforce internally using their internal authentication method. And we also implemented the row level security for our data source so that all the users, they can only see what they're supposed to see, the data that they have. For example, if they own 5 accounts, they only see 5 accounts. And because of that, we also allowed in Tableau and Salesforce where we pass that parameter. If, let's say if they are out of those 5 accounts, they want to view a dashboard for this account A. So we need to pass that information to Tableau so that the dashboard will be filtered as well. And also we installed the Tableau Lightning Web component. This is also optional if you are on the Experience Cloud. In this demo, I'm going to show you the Visualforce page, not the Tableau Lightning Web component. And of course, there was a requirement that, hey, I want my Tableau, I want to have the ability to download or a PNG or PDF or a crosstab, but I don't want it to show the URL when I do that because they don't want it to show the Tableau URL. People might bypass that. And then, okay, the objectives of this demo is I have prepared a few embedded dashboards in here. This is I cannot show you the actual portal that the client made, we created for the client, but I created a new portal in here for this demo. So I will show you the parameter that you pass a parameter from Salesforce to Tableau and filter that dashboard. I will show you a Salesforce page with embedded Tableau dashboards where you can click on an icon to navigate between different Tableau dashboards without jumping to another page in Salesforce. And I will show you how to export PNG and crosstabs without showing the URL. I will also show you the other option where you have a Salesforce page with embedded dashboard, then you navigate from that Salesforce page to another Salesforce page. And then I'll show you at the end on how I built this using Visualforce pages and into the Experience Cloud Builder. Okay, so let's start here. So what is an Experience Cloud? You can read all the definition about Experience Cloud in here, but in my own definition, it's just the creation of a web page or web portal that you can share with your users. It still runs on the Lightning framework, and that's why this is great because you can embed your CRM data in here in your web page. So let me start with this tab here, the accounts. So as you can see in here, this is Salesforce. It's listing all the accounts, but we want to have a dashboard that will show me my data. If I select, let's say if I select this account, Fun and Games Limited, it should show me a dashboard that only shows the data for that account. And if I click on another account, ABC Supplies, then this is also for ABC Supplies. So that's how we that's passing parameter from Salesforce to Tableau. And I'm going to show that later. And then another option that I created here is, okay, I have a Tableau dashboard that I embedded here. This is Tableau, this is Salesforce up here. But I want to be able to navigate between my Tableau views within that Salesforce iframe. So I added an icon in here, just a button here that you can click, and it will navigate to another Tableau view without going out of this Salesforce page. So this is another Tableau view here, or the dashboard. And I provided an option where you can export this page to PNG. So if you click on that icon, it will export that to PNG, and this is your PNG for that, and without showing any Tableau URL in there. And then there's also another option that I added in here. If you click this one, it will show you another dashboard where I curated the columns that I want to show in here so that the users will only be able to export what I displayed in here. So when they click on download and export to Excel or CSV, it will only allow me or allow them to have these columns that are listed here and nothing more. That prevents, like, if you have custom calculations, if you download the raw data, it gets dirty, or those columns that you don't need. So this is the navigation for that I provided here, and you can go back and forth between Tableau pages. The other option is, I want my Salesforce page with that. When I click on that page, I will go to another Salesforce page with another Tableau dashboard embedded in it. So this is an example for that. So this is my Salesforce page. This is Salesforce here, up. This is Tableau. And if I click on View Forecast, it will go to another Salesforce page with embedded Tableau dashboard in it. I provided a breadcrumb in here where if you're on forecast right now, and then if you want to go back to commission, then you click on that and it will go back to commission. So those are the things that were asked of us for our client, and that's how we built it there. But let me show you how I built this using Visualforce page. And let me log into my Salesforce in here. See if I can. So to build a Visualforce page, that's the beginning, because you cannot embed your Tableau URL in your Experience Cloud before you have the Visualforce page. So we need to start here. So excuse me, I go on Setup, and then I go to Visualforce in Salesforce Lightning. And then I save it under the demo. So it starts with D. So if you want to create a Visualforce page, you just click New in here, and you'll have that empty canvas in here that you can fill, like this one. So I name it, label and name, they're the same, but by default, it will have an Apex code in here that you modify. What I did in here is I added this frame. So this is your Tableau URL. This is my Tableau URL that points to my server right now. What I added in here is to pass a parameter to my Tableau. This is a field in Tableau, and this is the syntax for the field in Salesforce. So I pass that value from Salesforce into Tableau so that it will filter the dashboard. There are also other things that I applied in here. There are switches in here. So if I want to turn off the tooltip, I want to turn off the tab, like the toolbar, I mean, this one. So there are those options that you can add in there. And also I set the height of my iframe in sales in the embedded section. And also you have to check this one so that it will be available when you select it. Okay, so once you've done that, you can either preview that, and you will see that dashboard in there. Let me go back in here. So let's say we've done that, we save that, and then let's go to another one. I'm just going to show you the first two here because the bottom two are the same. Then we go to that commission tab that we talked about earlier. So this is the frame, the URL for that, I mean, and I did not pass any value or parameter in here. So there's no parameter in here. So it's all of it. There's no filter for that. And that's the same thing applies in here. And if you're interested in looking at what these are, there's a lot of this available on the Tableau page where you can look up what each of those mean in there. And that's that. So once you have your Visualforce page or pages created, you can then go to your Experience Cloud. So to go to Experience Cloud, you go to all sites because this was already pre-built. So we're not going to start from scratch here. So all sites, and go to your builder. And this is the page that you saw earlier. And from here, there's two things in here. In the navigation, this is slightly different because depending on how you develop the page, you can have this navigation or you can have tabs, components. Is that components? Yes, components. So if you click on here, you'll have this will pop up, and you can click on the edit navigation, and you'll see those tabs up here. So for accounts, what I did here is, this is a Salesforce object, and the object type is account, and I want all accounts listed. So if you remember, if I go to where was that page, to that portal, you will see that we have the accounts listed in here. So this one. So that's that. And then once I'm on the accounts that's listed on that page, I need to go to the next page where I click one of those accounts, and it will open the detailed section of the account. So that's the one we need to edit. And we go to this accounts and account detail. And this is where we embed that Visualforce page. So I added this banner in here, and this is another option here where you have the tabs, right? This is from a component in here that you can add the tabs, and this one is slightly different from the top here. You have to click on each of this. If you want to embed a component in there, then you have to click that one, or click here in the detail and add a Visualforce page in here. In this case, I have the executive overview, which I renamed that to this name. And I drag the Visualforce page from one of the lists here, this one, Visualforce page. I drag that over here. Once it's in here, this window will pop up, and it will give you an option to select which of the Visualforce pages that we created earlier you want to be embedded in here. So in this case, I want my demo account sales to be embedded in here. So I selected that one, and also set the height of the frame once this is displayed on the page. This is set at default. This is just to track your user where they are. So once you are done in here, you do the publish, and then you publish it on your web page. The other option that we are also interested in, and how we built that one, is under the orders. If we go to orders, click on navigation, the edit default navigation there, and click on orders. And this time, this is a page. So if you click orders on top, it will go to a page right away, and the page is called summary. So if I go to the page called summary in here, or sales summary, this is that page. So this is Salesforce here, because I have two columns on this page. We're not going to cover that, but I just added a few things in there so that it doesn't look empty. But same thing, you drag the Visualforce page, drag it over here, and select that Visualforce that you created earlier. In this case, it's the sales summary. And if you remember on this page, we have the Tableau dashboard embedded in there, but there's multiple options that you can select. You can navigate from one view to the other. So in this page, but that is done in Tableau, not here in Salesforce on this Experience Cloud. So just embed your URL in here, put it in there, and then publish. Okay, and then same thing with commission. On that commissions tab, we have the commission in here, and the first landing page there is the commission. And then from there, let's go to commission. And then same thing, you add your Visualforce page, but I added this section here because I want this to be an Experience Cloud page that will navigate to another Salesforce page on the Experience Cloud page. So I added this option so that I can add a link from here to the forecast page. So to do that, you drag not the Visualforce page, but the rich content editor, you drag it over here. And once it's in there, you can click this and edit your text. You add your text, make it big, you make it small. And then this text here, I made that as a link. And if you click on the link section icon here, that's the link to the forecast page. So let's go to the forecast page, and I'll show you where to grab that information on the forecast page. So same thing, I have the rich content editor and the Salesforce Visual Force page in here. So we are now on the forecast page, but we need to know the link to this. So first is we need to know the URL for our page. So if you click on these settings in here, you'll see the URL for your page, for your portal. And then we need to know what this is. So we need to add this name to this URL here. So to find that out, we click on the edit or the property settings here, click on that, and this is now your URL for this page. So you combine those two, and that will become your URL for this entire page. And that's the one you add to your commission page in here. If I go back to here, edit this and highlight this and do that link, that is now your complete URL. This is your portal URL, and that's the additional component of that forecast page. So that builds the entire URL for that. So that's why we can navigate from commission to view forecast, and then to this one, and then back. Now, once you publish that, everything in there will work like this one and that's how you would embed Tableau dashboard into Salesforce. And let me just grab a little bit of time here for showing you what I did on the Tableau side. And people might be familiar with this already, but I added those icons. This is the navigation icon and the download icon. Sorry, this is the download icon. And this is the navigation icon. In the download, I dragged that from the download object here, and then edited that one to show what I want to download. I want to download an image. You can download a PDF. You can download a crosstab or PowerPoint, and just added an image in there, and that's that. And then to navigate to another Tableau page, you just click on, you drag the navigation over and modify that to point to order detail. So my order detail is this one. So it will, once you click on that, it will navigate to the order detail. And then you publish this dashboard or this workbook without, well, you show the tabs, show sheets as tabs, but you hide that once you embed that in Salesforce so that you can still navigate to it behind the scenes. So. And that's that. I think I've covered everything I want to cover.
Yeah, June, one quick question. So for mobile devices or iPads or tablets, do you have to do some specific configuration on Salesforce side, or just choosing the layout of tablet or phone on Tableau would do it?
Yeah, there's an option where you can select the layout, but I think you need to modify how it will look. Where's my builder here? This one, because this is your layout. You can select mobile, tablet, desktop, and in this particular one, it won't fit. Yeah, you have to modify it.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. This was really good. Yeah. Anybody else has any questions for June?
Good question, Jen. Thanks for the presentation. I saw that you create the Salesforce and the Tableau linkage on the accounts name. Could we create multiple linkage in that URL? Like, for example, we can have something like a name from Tableau dashboard and connect with the leads or contact.
Trying to increase my volume here, but I'm on the max already. I can't hear you well. If I understand that correctly, you're asking if we can create multiple links. Let's say for this page, right? And we can create multiple links in here. You can add another one if you want. Sorry.
Like between the Tableau and Salesforce, Like currently you are using the account name and the account name from Tableau and Salesforce to create that link. But could we look at the data, like for example, on the account dimension, but also, for example, opportunity?
Yes.
And
Yes.
at the same time.
You can pass multiple parameter values in Tableau. So that URL you can pass. My example only has like an account, but I've tested that where you pass like accounts or region, different parameter values. As long as they exist in Tableau, it will pass that as a filter. It doesn't even need to be in the dashboard. And then also bear in mind that there's also a limit to how long your URL can be. So I think it's 2048 for Windows, but that's a lot already.
Okay. Thanks.
Awesome. This was very insightful. Thank you so much, June. I think we can move on to the next demo here. David, do you want to share your screen?
Yep, give me 1 second.
Sure.
Cool, so I'll start sharing my screen now. Hopefully you guys all can see it. And yeah, so David J, feel free to jump in at any moment. Thank you. And so, yeah, so this presentation, I'm going to talk about regression testing using the Tableau JavaScript API. So I'll talk a little bit about what the JavaScript API is and how we're using it, and then go straight into the demo. So what is the Tableau JavaScript API? In essence, it's just a pile of JavaScript code, and it's in all recent versions of Tableau server. And so what you can do with the code is you can source it in, let's say, a website that you might be building. You can just source it in the HTML, and it provides you with a whole bunch of JavaScript functions that let you embed dashboards and interact with the dashboards as though you're a user. So as though the website were a user, you can interact with filters, interact with any bits and pieces of the dashboard, switch sheets, et cetera, et cetera. And so, yeah, it's really useful if you want to create like some kind of like animations on your dashboards or some like default actions. Let's say you go to this website and you want to see something specific on your dashboard, like, you know, maybe pre-filtering or something. Though you can do that with the Tableau server, you can also do that with the JavaScript API. And because you're using JavaScript, there's, you know, there's a lot of options that are available to you because you're, you know, writing your own code. So you can kind of do, you know, whatever you feel like might be fun with your Tableau dashboards. So what else can you do with the JavaScript API? So in addition to just interactions, you can also pull in data from reports, and you can pull in data through these methods that Tableau provides, or you can get creative and pull in like information from the filters, like what values are showing up in the filters, what values are showing up in some of the other kinds of the parameters, etc. So you can do all of that. You can also query dashboards for components. So if you have a dashboard with some text boxes on it, you can also like just query that in and pull it in as, you know, a JavaScript object, and then again interact with either the data from those components or the components themselves. You can sort of just interact with them through code. So what I'm going to show you is this project that we built for one of our clients, and it essentially pulls in as much data as possible from 2 different versions of a report and compares that data. And it's particularly useful as far as doing maintenance work. So if you're maintaining a bunch of dashboards and maybe you want to make some slight change, you can compare the 2 versions of the dashboards to make sure, well, okay, if I made this one little change, hopefully that was the only thing that changed, or there's no unexpected changes in the dashboard. It's nice to have like this third party, you know, like machine kind of tell you what's different between these 2 dashboards. And since it's in-house and the only, you know, it's only sourcing your own Tableau server, there's no worries about your data, interacting with, I don't know, some like third-party software that who knows what it might be doing. So yeah, most of these credits go to Wenhao Zhang and Iyene Etefia. These two Tableau developers had a really interesting conversation in this LinkedIn article. The conversation mostly started with they're speculating over how this API could be used to maybe do some comparisons, like downloading the data from a dashboard and comparing that to maybe whatever data you have in SQL and doing some sort of validations like that. From that idea, I sort of thought, well, why don't you just compare two dashboards against each other? And so we built this tool. Again, there's a more elaborate version of this implemented at our client, but this is more or less a basic version. So the idea is you're looking at your Tableau server, you have one version of a dashboard, you can click on it, pull up this link, which is the embed link or the sharing link, whichever. You can paste it in to one of these boxes, paste another version of that same dashboard into another version of the box, and then you just run this site and it will compare the two dashboards, output what it thinks are the differences, and you can sort of compare that to what you would expect the differences should be. So I'm going to run a demo right now. I do not have a Tableau environment open, so the demo is going to be pulling reports from Tableau Public, but again, the process is going to be the same no matter what. So starting off with the software, you pull in these reports. So these are two very slightly different versions of Superstore that I posted to Tableau Public. And if you just look at them and try to do it manually, it's not super obvious what the differences between these two dashboards are. But we hope that this tool allows us to see them. And so when we first pulled it in, it just started cycling through each of these components, pulling in all of the data, all of the filtering, basically as much as it could, as much as is made available through the JavaScript API, and parsing through that and trying to come up with what is different and what's the same. So over here, we're seeing that a bunch of sheets are published as a tab in one version of the report, but are not published as a tab in another. It's a little bit difficult to see this because, again, this is Tableau Public and it's not going to show us all of the individual tabs. It just shows us the dashboard. But if we were to download it, we might see just like a couple tabs appearing and not appearing in one, or only appearing in the dashboard in one, but appearing separately in the other. So we can see that is going on here. It detected a change in position for the title sheet. So it'll tell you if you moved something around on a dashboard. In this case, the title might be at a slightly different position than it was before. And below that, it's showing green if any individual sheets have the same data versus sheets that don't have the same data. And then it tries to do like a diff and tell you which data is not the same. This diff is kind of a more basic version of what we've implemented at the client. At the client, we actually output the differences in a tabular format. So it'll just show this row of data is appearing in one report, but we're not finding it in a different report. And again, this was intentional. I just highlighted one of these graphs and like excluded some specific data point. And that's what it's attempting to show here. So yeah, if it finds a bunch of differences, it'll kind of truncate it because you just don't want to put so much on your screen at once. It's a little bit hard to manage, but yeah, that's more or less the tool. Yeah, that's about it. We've also done other things with the JavaScript API. So besides just that kind of embedding, we've also done like some filtering where we've embedded like dashboards into reports or dashboards into websites and then use the JavaScript API to filter those dashboards as opposed to using Tableau's filtering. For whatever reason, and it's unknown to me, like the mechanics of this, filtering through the JavaScript API seems faster than filtering through the native filters in Tableau. I would imagine they would use like the same, I don't know, methods to filter, but for whatever reason, the JavaScript API is a little bit faster and there's less like lag times. So using the API to filter might be worth the effort if you you guys would like to maintain an entire website as opposed to just a dashboard, just for the sake of speed. But yeah, that's about it.
We have one question. It says, Everett's asking, can we download this analysis from the page?
You cannot. Well, you probably, if you had this code, you could build like some sort of like, I guess you could modify the code so that like it would do that. At the moment, I did not like code that in, so you can't really download it. If you want to, you can like highlight this, copy paste it somewhere. But yeah, you can't download it yet. But that is a very good idea for, I guess, a improvement to the site.
And David, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the way it works at our client now, right? You run the analysis and it downloads a screenshot of this output.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I object to the screenshot a little bit. I think it would be better if it was like a document.
Agreed.
Screen. I mean, it's, you know, it's like an image. But yeah, so you can do that. Like, it's possible to do that. And also that was Manoj who implemented that piece, not me. So like, you can do that. I didn't. But yeah, it's totally possible. And it did not take Manoj very long to do that. I think he did it like over like a few days. I was just like out for 2 days and I came back and I was like, oh, like this, the site is a little bit different now. It does a few more things. So yeah, you can totally do that. I didn't do that yet. But yeah, you can output images, text, etc.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, so Dave Rameau has developed a lot of this code, and we found it to save us probably, if not hundreds of hours, even weeks of time to our developers who now have a lot more confidence when they deploy. They're able to do regression testing that's automated instead of having to do manual testing, and they know exactly what's different when it comes to data or filters. So it's been like incredibly useful, and the client has been really happy with this tool.
David, I have a question. So you were referencing the conversation on LinkedIn to those people. Have you talked to them and told them about what you've created? Because this is pretty cool.
No, that's like, I think a moral failing of mine. I probably should thank them. I haven't like reached out much. And, but this is actually a very good article as far as like getting off the ground. So the reason I even like looked into this was because I like couldn't figure out how to actually embed the dashboards. And so I found this article, and
maybe they think your work is pretty cool too. So you could tell them what you did.
Yeah, maybe. So yeah, I should reach out to them and let them know. But yeah, no, I haven't reached out actually. But I've been plugging them a lot, so that's nice. If you guys want to learn how to embed a Tableau dashboard, please check out this article. This is how I was able to do it myself. And if you have some time, reach out to Wenhao Zhang. And yeah, they're A+ Tableau developer, as well as, who is it? Someone in the comments section. Yes, ENA Atefia. So yeah, automating data validation in Tableau. So yeah, reach out to these two. Their conversation was very helpful to me, and this article is also very helpful.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Thanks.
Cool.
Thanks all.
Thanks, David. David, have you explored the option of writing it back to, let's say, a SQL Server database or Oracle database, just a database plain in terms of rows and columns? Have you explored that option? Was that a requirement at all?
I haven't actually, but I feel like the client suggested something along those lines. David, Jay, feel free to hop in on this one. I haven't explored that yet, but yeah, that's a great idea, and I think the client would probably appreciate it.
Did you paste the link to that article in the chat? Someone is asking for that, please.
Yes.
To the LinkedIn article you referenced.
One thing to note is that this article may be a little dated, as I think Tableau might have changed a little bit of how embedding works, but I haven't used this article in about a year, though. So if it's not working, that might be the case. But otherwise, very good article. Yes. Okay. Let me actually add this to the chat. I don't know if I think I sent it directly to someone. Okay. Yes. So this is the article.
Awesome. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any other questions for David Rameau or David Justiniano? All right. Thank you, David. It was really very helpful to see how you have built it and how we can easily compare two different environments or two different URLs using Tableau's embedded analytics. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
All right. So time to move on to Kahoot quiz. Monisha, do you want to share your screen and we can go through that?
Yes.
All right.
I'll share my screen. Let me know once you're able to see it.
Yep, can see it.
Okay, I'm going to start the quiz, and everyone can log in on www.kahoot.it, and this is our game pin. So once people start joining, I'll be able to know this, and I'll start the game.
Yep. And Monisha, I think there are two things that would matter a lot as part of this quiz. One is answering the questions accurately and also answering it as fast as you can.
Yes.
Right.
So just to let you know, guys, every question you will get 30 seconds to answer the question. So the question would be here on the screen. And when you log in onto the game, so you'll be able to see 4 options. Those would be the 4 colors. So you just choose that color where the correct answer is. And there you are.
And we have a prize for top 3 winners.
Yes, there would be prize for the top 3 winners. They'll be getting some nice Tableau gift cards so that they can buy the merchandise. I can see 4 people have joined, and yes, more coming. Okay, 1 more minute if people are joining in. I hope everyone has joined and I can start the quiz now. Let me know if you have any issues in joining. Okay, so I'm going to start the quiz now. The question will be on the screen.
I think Sharma has some problems.
Okay. So the first question is, what is embedded analytics? Nine seconds to go. Okay, so 5 people got that answer. It's awesome. Okay, I'm going to jump on the next question. First, we'll see the scoreboards. Okay, so we're stopping it right now. And then there is David, and then there is Katie. Awesome. Let's jump to the next question. So the question is, by definition, Tableau displays measures over time as a what? Five seconds to go. Good one. So always 5 people are able to get the answer. It's awesome. So it's line, that Tableau displays measures over time as a line. Let's check the scoreboard. Okay, so Avi is nailing it right now. And then there is David. Awesome. Next question. How do you identify a continuous field in Tableau? 5 people have answered it. Okay, so yes, it is identified by a green pill in the visualization. That's the continuous, and the blue one is the dimensions. So now David is nailing it at 2572 score. Let's go to the next question. A sheet cannot be used within a story directly. It can only be used within a dashboard. It's a true and false question, whether it's true or it's false. Okay. Okay, so most of us have got the answer correct. It's awesome. So first is David, then Katie, and then third number is Avi. Awesome. Next question. A good reason to use a bullet graph in Tableau. Five seconds to go. Okay, that sounds good. That's our scoreboard. David, then Katie, then Avi. Awesome. Next question. This is also a true and false question. Is it possible to use measures in the same view multiple times? For example, if there is a measure, so you can use it as a sum, or you can use it as an average also. True or false? We have 5 answers already. Okay. It's true. So it is possible to use measures in the same view multiple times. Let's check the scoreboard. Oh, so Avi has reached the top now. Yeah.
Katie is on fire with 6 correct answers in a row.
Yeah. 6 correct answers in a row. Great job, Katie. Let's move to the next question. Question number 7. The aggregation function, that's ATTR, that's how it's shown in Tableau, returns a star when okay. So the answer is there is more than one value in all rows in the group. And 4 people were able to answer it correctly. That's great. Okay, so Adam is leading it now. JV is back with an answer streak of 3. It's awesome. Let's move to the next question. Question number 8. It's a true and false question. Trend lines can only be used with numeric or date fields. True or false? Okay. We have 7 people who have answered it. It's true. So trend lines can only be used with numeric or date fields. Let's go to the, oh, Adam is on a streak now with 6 correct answers in a row. It's awesome. Next. Question number 9. The default join type in case of blended data sources in Tableau is? Okay, one person has answered. Okay. Yep, that's left outer join. That is the default join that happens when we blend the data sources in Tableau. Oh, Adam has the highest answer streak of 7. Last question of the quiz. It's a true and false. Bins cannot be created on dimensions. It's true or false. Eight seconds to go. Yes, it's true. So bins cannot be created on dimensions. It can only be created on measures. So that's why this is true. And let's check the final score. Number 3 is Katie. Number 2 is David. Number 1 is Adam.
Adam.
Awesome.
We have runners up also, JV and Avi at 4th
Yes.
and 5th position respectively.
Yep.
Congratulations. Please, Manisha, could you drop your email address? So please
Yes.
contact Manisha with your name and she will distribute the gift card.
Yep, I'm going to do that.
All right. So we only have about 3 minutes left. So we'll probably give a very quick overview of what are some of the key features that Tableau has added as part of their latest release, that is 2022.1. Kathy, do you want to share your screen and we can quickly go over that? Awesome.
Sure. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yep.
So I'll just go through the highlights here. The one thing that I really enjoy Tableau and Salesforce is they do quarterly release real often. So they constantly improving the customer like experience. So the first one, they have updated so many different features in the 2022.1. So the Tableau Online, they already roll out in the past several weeks on those new features, and Tableau Desktop is still on the line. And for the server, they are still have some pipeline is coming, but those are the new features are coming up. And there are 5 top highlighted new features. One is Workbook Optimizer. So this one will actually give you, I can show you an example here. You can check your dashboard and performance before you publish it. So it gives you some action items and also like the thing that you need to review before trading off some of the features that currently in your dashboard. So it actually gives you the suggestions that you can improve before you publish to your server. And another highlights that they release is the new search experience. We all had an experience that when we search on the server or the online, it's really hard to find the corresponding dashboard that we're looking for. So they have updated their new search experience and allowed end user to find the relevant content faster and also to find the most relevant content more precise. And those results are ranked based on signals like text relevance, popularity, and the recent, excuse me, And also they have Ask Data phrase builder as well. So now instead of you create your own sentence, they actually have a guidance for you to add. And you also can add it like a field and add a filter button on in the Ask Data to have more functionality. And another thing is the background resources. This is more for the IT folks, so they can limit their background runs on a site, on your server. And another thing is this also for the IT team as well. So they have created enterprise level deployment guidelines. And we will just briefly talk this, and we'll share this content with the URL link so you can explore more new highlights release on the 2022.1 on your own time. And that's it. So Adam, do you want to cover the last Tuesday Connect slide?
Sure, thanks. Thanks everyone for joining. It's really great to see some familiar names and some new names and faces. Please stay in touch. I posted in the chat window all this information except our email address. But the best way to stay in touch, just follow us for updates, and feel free to reach out with comments to any of us on LinkedIn or at that email address to let us know topics you're interested in, speakers you might want us to reach out to. I know quite a few of us have a lot of folks in our network we could try to reach out to, even folks in Tableau as well. And you know, have a great weekend. We're out of time now, but feel free to reach out. This is, you know, not our group. It's well, it's everyone's group, not just the leadership committee's group. So please, you know, let us know how you'd like us to improve things and grow.
Yep. Thank you all for your participation. See you all in Q2 2022 event.
Feel free to share your LinkedIn information in the chat window. Take care.